What's up? I know I haven't been on in a while. I'm trying to get my skin together, as you see. So I'm not really comfortable being on camera, but right now I'm actually at um, Walmart parking lot, and I was in the middle of working. All right, so I'm gonna stop this part here in the middle of me editing, but this video was not that long. It's really, really short. So if you want to go ahead and stick around to the end, and then when you're done with this, go ahead and click subscribe and go ahead to the next video because this shit got ghetto and crazy as fuck, y'all. But I'm gonna let this video keep talking. God is pushing me to tell my story and to be transparent, and that I'm once again being, sat down because I need to focus and get my shit together. Um, so I'm in the Walmart parking lot, and I was in the middle of working. I deliver stuff as a side hustle. And this morning when I had got up, I had actually started watching this guy that I watch a lot. And he was saying a thing about when you create circumstances and think chaotically and overthink, you can manifest things in your life to take place. And doing this video for me is kind of hard because, as you can hear, my voice is shaking. It sounds like I'm like on a fucking Tyler Perry reading for a monologue. But okay, it's me, your girl, Ariahsavage again. When I make jokes and go off into segues, that's sarcasm. It's not me poking fun at myself. It's just me being sarcastic. So I just wanted to let you all know that. Potential. And lately, I've been feeling depressed, and I've been trying to um, ignore it. It's a lot that's happened. It's January, and my birthday is this month, and I honestly don't care because it's a lot of other things that I'm trying to deal with, versus my birthday. I'm just gonna start telling this story while I'm waiting for these people to pull up, and I'm gonna, try to bring this full circle as much as possible. But my point in making this video is to just let people know, stop being in your own way, and stop letting people and their energy take love from you and yourself and God. Like, I noticed the more depressed I felt, the more I was getting on social media, and the more I was just on YouTube watching mindless shit. Like, sometimes, I watch, most of the things I watch are highly intellectual, but lately it's been like a lot of celebrity gossip and things of that nature. And I don't watch the news, but I've just seen how within these last maybe 3 weeks, how I would say since New Year's, how things have just, kind of unfolded rather, due to my attitude and my perspective on things. So let's back up. So I moved back to where I'm at from my other hometown location, and I got my own apartment. I bought a car, and I work. So, ideally you'd be excited and think that these things would afford you a better life. But to be honest with you, y'all, I'm very much new to being an adult, like by myself. So there's a lot of things that I've done. It's like really not. It's not like not the smartest because I didn't know, and I don't fuck with people, so I don't really have a lot of people to confide in or to ask questions and things of that nature. So a lot of times I'll just attempt to do something, of course, with a lot of thought, but there's some aspects of some things I may not know. So I moved here. I've been here since the summertime. I actually went back to my hometown. Um, and I'll get into that story, and that's a whole other video. We're gonna start from New Year's and from me getting my license suspended. So back in September, when I was driving, I got pulled over. There was no probable cause to pull me over. The guy said that I didn't use my signal, but the funny thing is, I never got a ticket for that. What happened was the guy that I bought the car from. What happened was the guy that I bought the car from. He did not tell me that he took the insurance off. So once he removed the insurance, that's when the roll of problems started. I immediately got insurance the next day. The whole time I was like praying in the car, I'm at the motherfucking light. I see the police to the left. I'm like, okay, they're not gonna fuck with me. That's not gonna be something that's gonna happen. They definitely did. So I made the right, left at the light, made sure I used my signal, and he pulled me over and said I did not use my signal. Okay. So I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm just trying to get this shit. So sorry about that. That was the tow people calling. I basically got my shit. Okay, let me back up. That story fucked me up. I'm gonna go back and edit this shit. I know it's all fucked up, but let me just continue. So once the once he gave me the ticket, we're sitting there. He's making conversation with the piece of shit that I was with at the time, and basically was trying to like see what was in the car. Keep in mind, I had liquor, I had weed on me and shit, but I wasn't smoking. It was in the glove because I keep my car pretty clean because if you get pulled over, common sense. So there was nothing crazy going on. They understood I was in the middle of working, so they let me go, but they gave me a ticket. When they gave me the ticket, the next day I went and got insurance. On the website, it said, hey, if you have proof of insurance after getting the ticket, upload it for court. The problem is that my document was never looked at all. So that by the time I go to court, the lady was like, okay, so you didn't have insurance, and I explained to her the situation and the scenario. She goes back to finally look at the shit that I've been posted for like 3 weeks, and she's like, okay, yeah, well, they've already written the ticket, you didn't have it at the time, so I have to kind of go ahead with the process. She asked me did I want to plead guilty or go NOLO, and that's where I fucked up at. I wasn't aware that if you plead guilty, it goes into your record and it transfers over to the state your license is on. So this is the time where I fucked up. I got this the court mandated payment, and I started making payments on it. In the middle of this, y'all, every time I try to make a point, my phone keeps getting disconnected. But I'm gonna keep going because I'm fucking frustrated. But I'm not gonna let that stop me. So I basically fucked up. I should have went fucking NOLO, but I didn't know. Again, I don't have any friends. I'm not a fucking criminal, and I didn't really understand the difference. Like they explained it, but I didn't think it was gonna go this far. So I got the money. Boom, it's $315 to pay. All right, cool. I work so I can pay that off. In the midst of me paying it, I honestly forgot to keep paying on it. And on the New Year's Eve, I got a text message telling me if I didn't pay it, I would have a warrant put out for my arrest. So the only person that does support me and fucks with me in my life is my aunt, like theoretically. So I called her and was like, explain the situation, and was like, yo, I'm gonna give it back to you. I just don't want to get a warrant. She was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And she went ahead and paid for it. So boom, that's paid for. So I don't talk to my mom like that. We don't even have she doesn't have my phone number. She's blocked me on Instagram, and she only contacts me through email. She's a narcissist, and it's for control, but I don't even feel like getting into that. That's not the point of this. Long story short, had we been in contact, that's my point of saying that. There is a point not being petty. Had we been in more contact, I would have been aware that my license was suspended and been able to handle it the day that it came, not January of the following year. So when I heard about it, I instantly started getting stressed out, and I allowed for my mind to manifest negative things. So the whole time where I'm living at, I'm driving, not even thinking about anything really except work, and I eventually end up getting news. That was disgusting. I didn't even eat nothing like that. Excuse me. I eventually end up getting the word from my mom that, there's some mail from the DMV and my license is suspended. Apparently, they suspended my license back on the 21st, but I got the ticket in September. I don't understand how they give you 2 months to pay some shit and the year's not even over and they just go ahead and suspend it. Alright, so since then, every time I drive, I literally get a big ass lump in my throat. My stomach hurts, and I've noticed like my behavior, I really don't want to do anything. Like, and I know that's depression, but a lot of times I be in denial and not wanting to feed into, how I'm feeling and shit, because I think I'm a gangster. But, and I am, because I, do what I want to do and I stand up for what's right morally, but outside of that, I'm still a human. So it was a little frustrating, but I still proceeded to work. I made sure I use all my signals. I don't go outside at night and things of that nature. Now let's back up, because ever since I got this car, it's been a problem. Prior to all of this, I was working again, and the ignition switch broke inside of the car. So I'm thinking it's my battery, I end up calling this guy. He comes and ends up being the ignition switch. I end up having to wait all day at the house for this man to fix it. So I'm kind of annoyed with the car situation just in general because it seems to always be something. And I also just found out that I was illegally sold the vehicle. This is something that I want to share with you all as a female. When you go buy a car, even if you don't have like a nigga, bring a guy with you because it's just for intimidation and for look purposes only. Because as a female, a lot of these car people think that we're not educated, which a lot of us aren't. Um, and that's due to society and the way they think we should think. But it's our fault we don't essentially know how to take care of ourselves and our things. So if you do go purchase a vehicle, please make sure that the title is not salvaged. If it is salvaged, you need to be buying it from an auction, and you need to know up front everything that is wrong with the vehicle. Also, it is illegal to sell someone a car and not transfer the title to their name. I was just made aware of this via somebody I know that's I consult, for legal advice, and they were like, yeah, he was supposed to change that out when you bought the vehicle initially. And I know this person knows what they're talking about because they deal with cars. So here I am with the car I bought, paid two bands up front in cash for. I've been constantly, like, say if I'm a day late with the payment or some shit, because I pay it weekly, the guy would be like, oh, I'm going to turn the car off. And when I talked to the other guy, he was like, yeah, we don't do that. And keep in mind, the guy that I was speaking with was black, and the other guy was white, the one that said they don't do that after the fact. So with this motherfucking car, I'm over it. I'm to the point now where I just want to pay off the remainder of what I owe for the car, and I want to sell it as is and get rid of it. And that's what I'm gonna fucking do. That'll be a way for me to get a large sum of money up front, and I'll be able to maneuver and think about what I need to do. So that's something you all can do if you have a car that's fucked up and you do own it. You can go ahead and put it online, sell it as is, which means whatever the fuck is wrong with it, the person understands that and gets it. It may not be all the way up to their how they feel like the car should be when buying a car. So every day I'm working, and then I start to slow up working because I'm like extremely paranoid. Like, yeah, I don't fuck with the police. I don't fuck with anything legal because it all makes me very anxious because you don't ever know the minds of these people. And if you could be that one black person they're just waiting to pull over and fuck with. And granted, I've never had like a major issue with this shit, but it's been big enough for me to be like, from what I see and experience with people I know, I just don't, fuck with them. So I limit my driving. I go home, at night. Well, I don't drive during the day. I'm sorry, I don't drive at night. And that fucks me up because that's where I make most of my money. So where I fucked up at is I'm in the house not really doing anything. I'm watching YouTube, I'm smoking, eating, but I'm not really doing anything. I wasn't being productive. I had all these 24 hours each of these days for 2 weeks, and I didn't do shit. Well, really just been, for 2 weeks, so I found out last week. My circumstances are causing me to feel upset, frustrated, and angry, but I have to really think about myself and where I kind of play a role. And I play a significant role in this because I feel like the moment that I found out about the license, my mind just started to spiral like this. And it makes me want to cry because I've taken a lot of work. I'm not going to cry though. I've taken a lot of work to get to where I'm at mentally and just financially. And for this to be happening now is not ideal. But I have to take situations for what they are, understand why God is doing what he's doing. And I feel like God is telling me that I need to get my shit together mentally. Moving in my place, I wanted my kids to come with me, and I requested for that. One of my children is in school. The other one, I have issues with communicating with my dad about as far as that goes. So I've already tried to reach out, but there's no avail with that. And that makes me extremely sad, more than anything. But I do see that God has blessed me and not allowed for my children to have to deal with any of the things that I've dealt with being on the street and just living as an adult, because I feel like if they were with me, a lot of these situations would have been real fucked up. So for me, I have to humble my spirit and my mind And I have to really understand that this is happening because I'm not doing right. And if you don't do right, you can't expect for things to go right. I was dealing with people who have very low energy. I was just basically throwing myself into anything where I didn't have to deal with me. And I know that a lot of that is me not dealing with issues of things that have transpired. And I will make videos about those coming up. This is just a catch up video as to why I have not been posting. And not to say anyone cares. I don't get a lot of views anyway. This is really just therapeutic for me. So if you do watch, I appreciate it. But at the end of the day, I'm really, really hanging on to God and, allowing Him to work on me and humble me. Because this is only a humbling experience. Um, we can try to blame, other people. We can try to blame circumstances, but when it comes down to it, you are the reason why you are where you're at based on circumstances and situations. And it was just crazy that this morning I was listening to this YouTube where this guy was discussing this, and then this shit happens, and I've been telling myself like, bro, you've been fucking up. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, and it seems like I can't get to the root of it. And it's really stressful because I'm trying to understand like what is the basis of my hurt and how can I change it. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm gonna be honest. I normally have answers, but I thought by me having a car, me getting a place and a job was going to help me feel better. But it just really made me realize that there's a lot of things that I'm not dealing with, and that material things and things that you can acquire don't have anything to do with yourself internally. And I think that's what I've been missing. Again, I don't have anybody to talk to. I don't have anybody to consult with. So I normally just be to myself. I'm still waiting for these motherfucking toe people, trying to figure out where they're at. And there's a host of things that I feel like attributed to, my depression currently. But I feel like me living in my own space and getting away from everybody has just more so brought that to head because I don't have anybody, anything to deal with. It's just me. And I just found myself still not being really happy. And I understand it's because, you have a foundation, but, it's cracked because you didn't lay it right. So I'm going to have to rework and touch on things that, you know, I didn't want to deal with, and I'm being forced to deal with them because I don't have any other choice. But I'm going to do that via YouTube. I feel like this is a good way to document progress and document the way that you see things, and you can look back and look at your perspective and kind of gain understanding of where you were at and where you are. And it's just really therapeutic for me. And it's kind of sad that we have no options but just to talk to a phone. And, you know, it's just weird. But that's a whole other video. But I didn't want to make this too long. A bitch is still waiting on these people. I thought that for sure, you know, it would be within time of recording this shit. The guy just said 15 minutes. It didn't sound like he spoke good English. So I'm just going to take this as, you know, me having to... Oh, okay, so he's here. I was talking shit. He just showed up. So the tow guy just came. I'm going to deal with this, and I will talk to you later. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And appreciate y'all for fucking with me.